Well, the state capture inquiry has heard several times about a lack of response from law enforcement agencies. The commission heard on Thursday that witness Babadi Tlasana had to flee the country because of threats. Well, she's implicated, an SA Express executive, in dodgy dealings. Inquiry chairperson Justice Raymond Zondo was told that police had done nothing after Tlasana laid a charge of intimidation. And this hasn't gone down well with the South African Communist Party. It wants evidence that the inquiry followed up. Now, the party marched to the NPA offices today to demand action. And Jacob Mamabolo is the SACP's Gauteng secretary, and he joins us now. So thank you so much for your time. I suppose my question to you is, what informs your opinion that perhaps the NPA is not doing their job? They've said on record that actually investigations are continuing and Gavin Watson's death would not have derailed them.
Firstly, thanks for the opportunity and good evening. True that today we staged a very successful picket at the head offices of the National Prosecuting Authority. And the main reason why we did that is because we are deeply concerned about the fact that we're seeing very good progress in work done by the Judicial Commission on state capture. And at least on record to date, there's no one person that has been held or brought to book, and we haven't seen commencement with criminal proceedings to hold people liable. So that on its own shows and confirms the concern we have that the continued good work done by the Commission, at some point, as long as there's no progress by law enforcement agencies, this is going to definitely raise concerns about, one, are we getting value for money from the work of the Commission, and two, the time already spent, was it worth it? So we believe that you need an alignment and complementary interventions from law enforcement agencies, because definitely the Judicial Commission, and we've said this as SACP, is doing an excellent job. It's going through evidence in records, interviewing witnesses, working very hard. But even today, when we submitted the memorandum to the NPA, the response they gave us was they are still working in the back office, behind scenes, and that at some point we will see progress. And that actually confirmed right today what we have been saying, that there's no progress. So they themselves don't deny it. They're just saying, look, we're still working in the back. So 1 year gone. This financial year, 100 million spent on this very important commission, but not even a shred of the evidence generated thus far is reputable and credible enough to bring criminal proceedings against those implicated. That can be the case. And we are also worried that just when you look at how the Security Commission, for example's report was thrown out, and all the money that was spent on it basically being declared fruitless and wasteful. So the Commission is it's in the middle of its work. But we believe that really the NPA, and we are happy that they are not denying it, should complement, support, and bring action promptly and swiftly to restore confidence in law enforcement, in the judiciary, but most importantly, in our constitutional democracy, organs of the state, because we are a country founded on the principle of the rule of law. So if the NPA doesn't complement the work of the Commission, that is of grave concern to us.
What do you think is delaying law enforcement agencies, including the NPA, in prosecuting?
And that's precisely the reason why we were staging a protest today. It was precisely to get the reasons behind those. We have asked the NPA to write to us in 14 days. If they don't write to us in 14 days and give us convincing, credible reasons, we have actually said we'll go back. But we are also surprised because the evidence generated at the Commission, by the way, even if it were to go to court, those facing allegations, we will still be presumed innocent. So we wonder, what is it that is holding back the NPA? And that's precisely what is worrying us. And we believe all of us, including, by the way, the Commission members themselves, I guess every day, you'll definitely be demoralized. If you're doing such work passionately, ethically, professionally, and to the best of your ability, but none of the evidence you have generated over a period of a year qualifies to even bring at least one person. That is worrying to us.
It seems on one hand, prosecution is delaying, but on the other hand, witnesses are being intimidated. We've seen with the director of Koroneka Trading, that's Baba Dikasana, fleeing South Africa, stating that her family has been threatened, her life has been threatened, even though the Deputy Chief Justice has said on record that no witness that comes to the commission will be intimidated or their lives even threatened. What is the SACP stance on whistleblowers now being intimidated? This could potentially even hinder future witnesses from coming to testify.
Absolutely. And one of the issues we are raising very emphatically in our memorandum of demands is the call for the protection of whistleblowers. That is one of the fundamental questions that we're raising with law enforcement agencies today. Because remember, the Commission rely on law enforcement to support its work, to make sure that witnesses find the comfort to give evidence and feel protected and are actually protected. So when the NPA responds to our memorandum, we expect them to also clarify and answer in writing precisely what work are they doing to protect and defend witnesses that are going to the commission. So I think even this particular case confirms and demonstrates beyond any shadow of doubt our view that the NPA and other law enforcement agencies are not coming to the party, are not reaffirming a very important process that our own country has put in place. So having said that, of course, we did also in our memorandum say we understand what corporate capture has also done to these institutions, the damage it has done to them. Because remember, if these institutions were doing their work, we wouldn't have needed the Judicial Commission on state capture. But we have said the advocate Batoyi, who's leading the NPA, not so long has been appointed and has herself taken a very firm stand affirming the values and principles in our country's constitution, ethical and moral leadership. We're saying whilst we have to give a fair chance and we appreciate and extol the values that and the ground she stood, but at the same time, we believe time is running out. You might be aware the Commission is about to apply for an extension of their work up to perhaps mid next year. So if we don't see activities of law enforcement, we are worried that this excellent, good work done could just, suffer the same fate as the Zondo Commission.
Well, Mr. Mabolo, thank you so much for your time.